So I'm personally of the opinion that the Puma Future 2.1 is Puma's best ever version of the Future. Now, does that mean that the Future line is actually getting worse? What's up guys, James here from BootWizard Boot Reviews, and today we're going to test out my theory that the Puma Future line is actually getting worse over time. To do that, we're going to go for our classic tried and tested method, the boot battle. Puma Future 2.1 against Puma Future 4.1.
Round 1.
So looking at the uppers of these boots, this should be an easy win for the Puma Future 4.1. It has far fewer layers, it's made from a very simple Evo knit top layer with a mesh liner that you can see through the Netfit holes. It retains the Netfit system, it has texturing and almost like a striking style element through the toe box, but that's where the problem lies. This Havoc heat press that's been put into this and the 19.1 makes this Evo knit material super stiff, and it doesn't really get any better. It softens up, but not to a point that I find acceptable anyway. It takes what is a very good boot, an exceptional boot actually, and kind of ruins it a little bit with that super stiff upper. The 2.1 doesn't suffer from this problem. It certainly has a slightly more padded feel in the 2.1 than you're going to get from the 4.1 because it's just made up of many more layers of material. You can see that simply by looking at this mesh outer that covers the whole boot and provides the Netfit system. The positives are, Netfit system has many more holes. It's not a huge win, but the biggest win for me, quite simply, the upper. It is so much softer out of the box. It breaks in much nicer, especially in this area that is coated. It really does break in compared to the 4.1. So I suppose the upper's a matter of preference. Do you want it to be super soft and break in and be a little more malleable and have those extra Netfit holes, or do you want that slightly more responsive, closer fitting, lower volume boot, but deal with the stiffness and the slightly more dampened touch? For me, it's no choice. My preference, it has to be the 2.1. So for me, the winner of this is the 2.1, even though the innovation was in the right way and it should have been the 4.1.
Round 2.
Moving on to the traction and the sole plate and stud pattern, because it's a nice easy one, it is absolutely unchanged between the two boots. Didn't change from the 2.1 to the 19.1, hasn't changed from the 19.1 to the 4.1, it's identical. It's very good, very good actually, but for a comparison, it's a draw.
Round 3.
So let's take a look at the weight. This is the easiest category, the lightest boot takes the win. I'm going to start with the older version, the 2.1. So this one comes in at 234 grams, which isn't excessively heavy, but it probably would be a bit of a disappointing weight in today's climate, where something above kind of 215, 220 grams, you would probably consider to be an overweight boot. Then we're going to compare that to the 4.1, which is the same weight as the 19.1, 212 grams. That is a huge weight reduction. That is because of the changes to the upper that I mentioned earlier, fewer layers in the 4.1 and the 19.1. This is a no-brainer. The weight reduction is so much better, and therefore it's a win for the 4.1.
Round 4.
Value for money, another nice easy one. These two were both €200 at full retail. While you can now pick this one up cheaper because it is an older model, that's not a fair comparison. So full retail, €200 each, and it's a draw.
Round 5.
So the looks, when you take them side by side, there's not a huge amount of difference because the silhouette is basically the same. So it really is just a matter of personal preference. Here I am a little biased because I love this colorway in the 2.1, but the slightly sleeker look of the 4.1 is potentially better. But honestly, I can't really pick a winner because they are from the same line. The silhouette has basically not changed. I really like the mid-cut design in both of them. So for me, we're just going to call this one a draw.
Round 6.
So fit and comfort is our final category. The Puma Future 4.1 offers a lower volume, tighter, more conform to your foot kind of fit, which personally I prefer. You do get, I find, a little bit more width, a little bit more room in the Puma Future 2.1, and you also get more customization options from that Netfit system, even though you still get Netfit in the 4.1. These are both fantastic fitting boots, and if they don't fit you, just go Netfit. You can customize and adjust these however you want to get a great fit for you. These both come in as one of my top recommendations for people with wide feet, and generally I don't have complaints about either. But personally, what I prefer is the lower volume, lower profile, tighter fit of the Puma Future 4.1 over the 2.1. So I've got to give the fit and comfort to the 4.1 purely because I think it fits better and I think that it's more comfortable, despite the fact that you can basically net fit either of these to suit you.
And the winner is...
So is the Puma Future line getting worse? Well, using my own scoring system, the answer is no. The winner is the Puma Future 4.1. Despite this, if you put these two boots in front of me and you ask me to pick one to wear for the season, every time I will pick the Puma Future 2.1 because the difference in the upper and how much I prefer the 2.1 over the 4.1 is huge. So this is what I'm going for, even if I think this fits a little better, even if it is much lighter and that difference is noticeable on feet. This is the boot I'm going to wear. It's just a nicer boot. The touch on the ball is nicer, and this is what I'm going to go for. But that's my personal preference. So stick down in the comments which one you would pick. I'd be interested to know where people are going on this. Remember to subscribe to the channel by clicking here, and you can check out my full reviews and unboxings of the Puma Future 4.1 by clicking here. That's all from BootWizard today. I hope it's helped you out. Have a good one, and we'll see you soon.